Gonna be long topics. I can already understand that. Claire and Wrath are gonna get into it hardcore.
I know, and I'm.
How's my makeup, guys? Is it
Your
good?
makeup's wonderful.
Yes.
See,
Yeah, I
Jeep
think
likes to
my
watch.
teeth-
Welcome, everybody. I am Raptorcall141 here with Global Spawn, also Sean, Glory Scott Game, who's giggling like crazy.
So funny.
Claire,
Thank-
Jeep Chick, and here we go. We're here to have fun. This is a pilot, and we're here to have some fun.
This is.
So, talk about a few things tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about Modern Warfare 3. We're going to talk about some COD Elite, and we're going to talk about the whole MLG and the tour and everything around it and some of the controversy that's going on. So, let's introduce ourselves. See, look at that. Nice background. I have that same
Thank you.
thing on my iPad, so it's nice. So,
The Whoppers fell!
the Whoppers fell.
Okay,
You got to show the Whoppers. You must show the Whoppers now.
they're behind the desk now. We're
Okay,
fucked.
see, she's totally lost. So, real quick, kind of what you do, who you are, where you're at in the gaming industry, and what you like to do for fun. So, Global, why don't you kick it off for us?
All right. Well, real name is Sean O'Keefe, and I own Global Spawn. And Global Spawn's basically a website for social gaming. Gamers can meet each other, connect with sponsors, open their own stores, sell their own products. Anything you love to do, as long as it involves gaming, you're welcome because it fits all sorts of gamers, casual, hardcore, competitive, whatever game you play. It's on the site. You can talk about it. People can relate to it. On the flip side, personal life, I like to go to the gym, just go out, have fun. I shoot pool with my buddies. We'll go play, play some Xbox, go to the movies. That's about it. I'm a pretty big movie buff.
Cool.
But
Ooh, speaking of movies, are you going to go see the Act of Valor with the Navy SEALs?
I am. It reminds me a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of first-person shooter action. It looks incredible. I like the fact that it stars active Navy SEALs, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm probably going to catch it tomorrow or maybe Saturday, but I'll let you guys know how it is if you guys don't catch it, but I'm definitely going to be there.
That looks like it's going to be a good movie. The real interesting note on that, the producer and director of that movie were also part of the Dust to Glory documentary that was done in the Baja 1000, and one of them was actually one of the writers that went through it, so it was pretty cool. These guys know about the action, so it was really cool. So, well, cool. Glory's got game. Tell us about you.
My name is Greg Welton. I am Canadian. I am the only, I think, Canadian in this group.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Hockey.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely hockey. I was going
Maple
with that. I
syrup,
play
yeah?
a ton of sports, hockey being one of them. Play sports 6 days a week. I referee football, which is probably something that a lot of us don't do. And then I play games in my off time. As far as my gaming goes, haven't really done much. Play competitive here and there, competitive Battlefield 3, some Call of Duty, all of the Call of Duties really. From there, just stream and make videos, and now I'm a part of Global Spawn. Yeah, all the media involved with that, so stay tuned for all of the live streaming shows, all the scrim nights, everything will be right here. So you need to follow this channel right now. Click the follow button.
Give it a
Right.
follow,
Follow.
give it a like, subscribe.
Everything.
Cool
All of
deal.
it.
Excellent. Well, we're glad to have you on the show. This is going to be a lot of fun. How about you, Miss Claire Jeep Chick?
I'm nobody. I just play video games. I'm the ultimate consumer. I play, my husband plays, my sister plays, my kids play, and we also do active things like Girl Scouts and golf. I work part-time in the sales position. I'm best known as the girl with the Infinity Ward tattoo, which now also has the Treyarch logo on it. I've been playing Call of Duty 2. I've been playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2. Before that, I was a PC gamer with Delta Force, Baldur's Gate, JRPGs. But I had children, and they require nurturing and stuff. So you can't really play
Or
those
burying
kind
the
of
snow.
games and be a good parent.
Nurturing.
So the console gaming is a different way to get my gaming addiction satisfied without taking up a whole lot of time. I also would love going to events, meeting the people behind the games. I really consider game development an art form. And there's times, like today I was just walking around Overwatch, the new DLC with Modern Warfare 3, and just looking at the details. And I consider it art, and I appreciate it as art, as well as a place for me to go around and blow people's faces off.
Excellent.
That is awesome.
Well, that's a great segue right into Modern Warfare 3. In fact,
Exactly.
that Overwatch map was just released to the Call of Duty Elite Premium members, and I do have to agree with you. These 3 maps that have been released for the Premium members have been a lot more detail in those maps than the maps that came out on the disc. I have noticed that as well. A lot of detail and thought. One interesting thing I found on Overwatch is that there's a danger sign with authorized spelled with an S, and then in another location there's an authorized with a Z. So you can
With a Z,
you
yes.
can tell the UK guys were definitely in on that map design.
I like the fact that these maps, not the one sniper core map, but was it Piazza and Overwatch, they're multi-tier. Imagine stripping away all of the colors, all of the barrels in the corner, boxes in the corner, and seeing the framework of the ins and outs of it. Almost looks like an MC Escher painting, I'm sure, with all the different ways to go and ups and downs and highs and lows. And from my Halo days, I really appreciate a multi-tiered, multi-leveled map.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. I don't like the whole single layer. I like the whole multi-layer. It gives it more. It gives it more excitement. Basically, having the same level on each map, just one plane, just allows the shooter to really just take advantage of the map. Having 2 levels is definitely kick ass.
So,
As far as I'm concerned, I've actually found that Infinity Ward has been one of the companies. If you go back to, for example, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, they have at least one map that has that aspect to it. You go, not as much as Overwatch, but you look at High Rise is a multi-tiered when you think about it, up top, middle, down low. And there was even maps in Call of Duty 4 that had the same aspect with multi floors to them.
Like block.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Overwatch is a lot like High Rise.
I don't see it.
yeah, I
It's
see the
construction
same-
on a
I
rooftop,
see
but
the
it's
same
not.
material. I see the same material. That reminds me a lot
But
of
it's
High
not.
Rise.
It's not a standard H shape. Here's your lines of sight. Shoot here, dart there. It's very swirly.
And in what Claire you're saying, it reminds me more of Hotel from
Yes.
Black Ops.
Yes, it does.
The lines of
yes.
sight and the paths that the teams have to take reminds me a lot of Hotel, which is funny because I love Overwatch and I didn't like Hotel all that much. I don't know why, but I absolutely love Overwatch. It's a great map.
Now, would it be just the placements of objectives
Possibly.
on the map that make the difference? Because that's what I find in a lot of maps. It really comes down to the placements of the objectives on the map that make the difference in how you play it. It makes a difference as far as spawn points go too, which really changes the whole aspect of a game type and a game and map.
Oh no, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. I just did a video on different call-outs for the domination points, and a lot of the different objective-based mode games do take some of those same points. But I'll speak to domination. Domination on that map is absolutely nuts.
It's
especially
so much
for
fun.
the B. It is a ton
You
of
can't
fun.
spawn trap at all.
No.
It's not like Hanoi from Black Ops where lock them in and tease on C. I mean, you cannot spawn trap on. I played it 3 or 4 times this afternoon, and it was just fun. Going underneath people, jumping down. You know that big thing that says trash?
Yeah.
And you jump down. I mean, you can get all sorts of behind enemy lines with that and flop the spawn and really screw them up. I enjoyed it.
It's fast moving. There is no standing around because you never know what's coming around the corner.
Exactly.
Portable radar is your friend. Definitely on the map. Speaking of, the difference between Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops is that, there's the obvious differences between Black Ops and Modern Warfare, or I say the Infinity Ward type games, because they have death streaks and Black Ops doesn't, and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, what's your guys' takes, or what's your take based on this is a game that came after Black Ops, and then there's this game and how they're doing things with Elite and everything else. I mean, what are you guys' take on that?
Who wants to go first?
Anybody? Jump right
Okay,
in.
mine will be the shortest because I see them as completely different facets. I think of them as allies in a war, and they've got different modes and different guns and different generals, and I enjoy both games immensely, but they are two completely different games for me. My play style is different, and Black Ops was the first Treyarch game that I liked. I had hated Treyarch up until then.
Same here.
Hated it.
Agreed.
I sat down to play Black Ops at the multiplayer reveal event in LA, and it felt like home. I was like, wait, I know this. And everything was comfortable, and the new things popped up, and I've loved it ever since. I played Black Ops in the past week, so I love Modern Warfare 3 because it's new and it's glitzy and there's all kinds of weird stuff that they've put in it, and I love Elite, but to me, you can't even compare the Infinity Ward games and the Treyarch games. They might have the same base coat, but they're different cars. I don't even know. It's like two different chefs baking the same cake off the same recipe. You're going to get two different products.
Yep, exactly.
Very good point.
I'm going to agree with that, but my point is going to be going to kind of touch base on another topic that we're going to talk about later, but is the fact that they're tailoring to two completely different groups of people. One's tailoring to the competitive, and again, like I said, this is going to be discussed later, and one is to the average gamer who is just picking up a game or just likes Call of Duty in general. They're totally different groups of people that they appeal to, and that to me is making the difference. I mean, you go back to World at War or any Treyarch game from there, and I would agree, I did not like them. Black Ops was the first major step that Treyarch made, and I mean, now that they're appealing to the competitive side, that is a whole new thing that they are going to definitely take off because of. And again, we will discuss that later.
Yeah. So tell me this, riddle me this, Batman. Why do you think Black Ops is easier than Modern Warfare 3?
Yes and no. It really comes down to the style of gamer you are. Again, touching base on what Claire said, it's two completely different play styles. And I mean, I do okay in Modern Warfare 3, but I did better in Black Ops. Just based on my play style. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, it was just it tailored to me because I could be quick about what I was doing, and I could catch a lot of people off guard based on what I did. Whereas in Modern Warfare 3, there's so much more going on. There's so much more things helping people, like death streaks, dead man's hand. Dear God, get that out of this game. Like, that's all I'm going to say. Please get that out of this game. But that is the difference between Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3. I mean, death streaks is a huge thing. It helps people when you die a lot, right? When you get caught in a spawn trap, guess what that is? That is there to help you get out of it. Black Ops did not have that. And that's my example anyways of the difference between the two.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because, before the show you were talking to me about, the Demolition game. I mean, that's the game mode I played the most, and that was the game mode I got trapped in the most. And in fact, I created a how to get out of a spawn trap video on Summit because it was just so nasty.
Yeah.
Spawn, you're dead. You spawn, you're dead. You spawn, you're dead. And then figuring out how to get out of that became a new challenge for me because I found myself getting more and more frustrated playing that game because I was getting spawn trapped so much more. Whereas
and you know
in
what?
Modern Warfare 3, I'm not.
In that regard, I also my argument to that would be that it almost creates a better player out of somebody in my mind, because you have to learn without the death streaks to get out of that. And from that, being in one, you know where not to be to get in it. You know where the other team's going to spawn if you can get them into a spawn trap. It just allows you to learn the game better, and in turn makes you a better player because of it.
Well, and you said it. It's competitive, right? Because one thing I found when I was trying to yell at my team when we were spawn trapped, it's like, guys, stop immediately trying to run.
Yeah.
That's how you get nailed
stop
down.
slamming X and respawning immediately. Give yourself 3 to 4 seconds for the game
See
to
where they are.
recalibrate and
Look
put
at
you
the
somewhere
kill cam.
else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take a look around. Yeah, that was interesting.
Everybody can't wait to jump in the Call of Duty scene.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because when Black Ops, when Treyarch brought out the community event a few weekends ago, and we started playing it, it took me a good couple hours to get readapted to that game.
Yes.
From playing Modern Warfare 3, I was like, "What the hell is wrong? Why the shit am I getting
kept
killed so
trying
much?"
to set a trophy system that wasn't there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Whoops,
exactly.
cracked myself. Yeah.
it was real interesting. But
I mean, regardless, we're all going to play every Call of Duty that comes out, but it all comes down to everybody has a favorite. And real quick, let's go around. Who has a favorite here? Between all the series of all the Call of Duties,
Call of
anybody
Duty
have
4.
an actually favorite?
2.
Hands down. Call of Duty 4.
Modern Warfare 2 or Call of
original.
Duty 2?
Call of Duty 2.
I'm with
Every
you on
map.
that.
Yeah, I never
Play.
played.
It's
I-
based on a Call of Duty 2 map. Chinatown. What was Chinatown before? Caratan.
Yep.
Brecourt. Brecourt was a Call of Duty 2 map, and they just flipped it up and turned it into, it wasn't Overgrown. What was the name of that big, huge map with the fields and the tunnels in the
I
middle?
know what you're talking about. I just don't
Yeah.
remember what they called it.
I'll
I
give
used
you-
Call of Duty 2 in everything, and I think it's because a lot of the guys started with Activision there, and that was the first one. Big Red one wasn't that great. But I'm constantly seeing, like, being able to cut the watermelons or shoot the chickens. That's all from Call of Duty 2.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Shoot
like,
the chickens.
4 is where they really changed with game types and
Yeah.
guns and the mechanics of the game. But for me, again, it's about the art and the maps.
So,
And
Claire,
it's-
going back to you, since we're both really avid lovers of Call of Duty 2.
Wasteland, that was it. Needham
Wasteland,
got it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wasteland,
Don't
correct.
shoot the
Since we're both actually avid lovers of Call of Duty 2, how did you feel about them remaking all these maps, but they didn't make Tujane and Tunisia? I thought that was a real big upset because that was one of the best
Jane
maps
and
ever.
Tunisia, I mean, game battles, I probably logged 100 hours on those maps on game battles. And with Capture the Flag, which is just what you played. You didn't play anything else. Capture
Well,
the Flag.
a lot of people played
It was a
head-
shame.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean, especially with Tunisia, again, multi-tiered. You had both sides. You could go up and down. You had that little shape with the 3 alleyways, but there was ups and downs with it. It was a damn shame that they didn't do it. I have no idea why they didn't do it.
Yeah,
But
I know.
the other
I
maps
was-
look so beautiful. They're
Surprised
begging for a
as well.
reskin. Wouldn't that be awesome to play Tunisia now? Skin it up, make it look like some sort of like back alley Bangkok place.
I almost think if all these pro gamers now, all these competitive gamers went back Call of Duty 2, even if they didn't play and just played it, they would have really appreciated it for what it's worth. You don't have you got the smokes, you don't have stuns, you have just grenades,
it's point and
smokes,
shoot.
and
that is a
clear
huge difference,
bare
too.
bone weapons, no
Yeah.
sights. The only sight on any gun that
It's
you
an
would
iron
have with a
sight.
sniper is it?
And,
yeah, or
and
a
in the
sniper
end, you
rifle,
think
but
about
that's
that,
it.
and
No attachments, no perks. Everything is just solid run and gun. If you weren't a good shooter, you would
You were
get
done.
gunned down every time.
So,
And that's-
What were you
it
saying,
was
Greg?
awesome.
you going into that game, like, I've never played Call of Duty 2. I know it's a shame. I'm thinking about going to buy it this weekend.
Just
Yeah, like
download it off
$5.
the
Just
download
dashboard,
it.
man. It's like $20.
Yeah, so
No, not even. You go to GameStop, get it for $5
Fire.
used.
we should do a
But-
community event.
yeah,
We
we
should.
should. So
I'm actually thinking right now of throwing a tournament up in the future for this. This has got to happen.
So I'm thinking, like, in my mind, like, I've only seen videos of it, but it, to me, would make a huge difference for somebody like me who doesn't really play for the kill streaks. My accuracy and my gun skill, I would consider good. Like, I pride myself on having good accuracy, reading the map, knowing where everybody is. And I would do well in something like that because somebody doesn't have an Osprey gunner, doesn't have a chopper gunner.
Yes.
They are relying their gun and their aim versus mine. And mine I trust my aim, and I think that I could do well, and that a lot of gamers would appeal to that. Whereas camping, waiting for their kill streak, waiting for themselves to get a nuke or get a Moab, right? Like that's just not where I wished it. I wished it would have died. I wish the kill streak.
You just need a bare bones mode, dude. Bare bones.
I play bare bones a lot.
I did too.
That's all I play because I know that it's coming down to my perk system and my aim versus somebody else's. And on an average night, I can drop 50 kills in a game because the other people aren't pulling choppers up. They're not pulling all the It's
Exactly.
them versus me.
Yep.
Do you think that was the demise of the Infinity Ward gaming, the way they do their titles with Modern Warfare 2? And how the kill streaks occurred and just how you get into a lobby and get annihilated? Or where do you think it started?
I want to say it started in Call of Duty 4, first of all, with only having the 357 was perfect, but having them compound on each other was, when you go chopper, what do? You don't call it in, you wait till you die, then you call it in, because your chopper can get you another chopper, and then you die again, call it in.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely like almost like a glitchy subject right there.
Yeah.
Like you would constantly just get choppers based off other kill streaks. But if you think about now going to Treyarch and Call of Duty 5 World at War, you could basically, if I remember correctly, you could just pick up a tank laying around and drive it around. That's better than a kill
I
streak.
love that shit.
That's better than a kill streak,
So-
and I think in my book, that's worse, because you can just pick it up any time, not even getting any kills, and just drive around annihilating people.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, they both kind of made their errors here and there,
Yeah.
so they
Okay.
learned from it. They made better games. Black Ops was pretty damn amazing, actually. So
Well, and
we'll
if you-
see what they come up with next,
Yeah, and if you think about it, it's continuing to evolve based on gamers' demand. I've been in the film industry for a while. I've been in different types of industries, and there's not one other industry that is as loud as the gamers, that is loud and is demanding, and they should be.
When they
Because-
want their game or their titles, they want their games and titles.
Yeah, when you have
they want their,
when there's millions and millions of dollars, it's just amazing what people go to lengths to get certain games, right? It's just nuts. All right, so one other quick topic, moving us on, is the new prestige ranks. What do you think about them? What's the point?
I don't know how they can put extra prestigious in over.
Okay, no,
the
we need to talk
prestige
about
ranks.
the most important thing. Izamir, did they look like shit?
They look like crap.
Hey, little Johnny, 5th grade, can you do these for me while Daddy goes to work? Okay, come. There's nothing interesting about them.
yeah.
They
it's
look
just
really dumb. I'm pissed
it's
about
just extra motivation for people to keep playing their game and for people to keep buying the game because there's extra.
it. Some doesn't
Consumer.
Like, so dumb.
Yeah, 'cause, in the end, actually, I got a question.
I
What
thought
was
it-
everybody's favorite prestige symbol on any Call of Duty?
Black Ops, the little dragon-looking thing with
Yes.
the claws.
The Claw, fifth
Okay.
prestige in Black Ops.
Yes, thank you.
That's
I'm
nice, yeah.
I want to say it'd be the 9th prestige in Call of Duty 4 with the big red star.
Oh,
The
yes,
black
and that
red
was cool.
star.
That one is
That
nice.
was definitely,
Boom.
yeah, like you couldn't miss that at all.
Yeah.
You stopped there. Oh, it looks so good. But
I
So
like
these-
the 8th
so-
Prestige in Call of Duty 2. No, I'm just kidding.
So
wish.
basically, I was scouring the net today trying to find out the why they created them. And the only thing I could really find out was that it allowed you to get that amount of XP that you could get in Modern Warfare 2. But that's the only thing I could find. I don't see any other reason why they came out. I really don't. I don't
Well,
get it.
and you can
There is no
reset your
reason.
stats. I don't know if you guys know who Gutter Magic is.
I
He's an
witnessed
amazing
him do
dude.
that. I witnessed him do that.
Yeah, he's reset his stats, like cleared everything like twice now.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
my
he just
God.
plays that much, and he's that good. So instead of, I don't know why they did both.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
It
but I'm
doesn't.
not somebody who's ever maxed anything out. I'm a girl. I get to a symbol I like. I stop. You know, it doesn't really mean anything to me to have.
I think furthest I've ever prestige was 1 prestige in any game. Besides Call of Duty 4, I happened to walk into a modded lobby, go figure, and I got ranked up instantly. So I was like, okay.
yeah, how funny is that? There's been a
No,
couple-
every time you go in a lobby on Modern Warfare now, Modded lobby. People under the ground, people up in the sky, people running hella fast.
See, that sounds cool.
It is cool, but it gets really boring when you really want a real match. Like when you want to go back to the day when Modern Warfare was real popular, you can't go back because every lobby is modded, and Infinity Ward doesn't take charge of their lobbies and fix it. So
Well, consumer versus competitive, right?
Yeah.
That's the big. We'll talk about that though. So, all right, well, that's cool. Any questions from the chat? Anybody in the chat have any questions on Modern Warfare 3? You'd like us to answer? Anybody? COD4 takes 10 minutes to find a regular lobby.
It's going to be a little
Definitely, it does now because they put a couple patches out for it. But I remember how many lobbies it would take me to get a decent lobby. And
You'd have to do the old graw trick. Everybody pull out your mics. Everybody pull out your mics. Oh, let's flip to private. Let's go back to public. Let's flip to private.
just to change the map. Just to get some. So
the new one now with Modern Warfare 3 is everybody vote for one map to push that map out and push you into another lobby. Of course, it's never the two maps you had right there. It seems to work.
Jumping map to map.
All right, so
that's
after we got
a
question if you want to read that.
What's your favorite map on Modern Warfare 3 and why? I'll go. My favorite map right now is definitely Piazza. Why? Because you can get a group of people with riot shields and hang out in the winery and have a complete blast. Actually, the reality is that is an intense map. It reminds me a lot of Overwatch, except for the fact that it's very, very open, and it's pretty much one-leveled. It's fast. Mine right now is definitely Piazza.
Riot sniping. Yoshi is a silly
sniping.
bitch.
Yes, I was right, sniping. How about you, Sean?
My favorite map, I would have to say, oh man, I like the game. I just don't think I have an honest favorite map. I mean, if I had to say any map, when I did play competitive, which I did a lot of scrims, I would have to say my favorite map when it came on, the map chooser, whatever you vote on your map. Actually, no, there was no map chooser. But
but in game battles.
Anytime we played a map, it would be Lockdown. That was my favorite one. So, basically, sorry, I forgot there was no map chooser.
Claire, you wanna go
I was
next?
thinking of public matches.
Well, here's my deal. All these maps kind of blend together for me, and I can't remember any of their names because I think they're poorly named.
Well, then describe the one.
It's the one with the bridge, with the thing and the bushes. I mean,
Liberation.
Modern Warfare 3 maps run together for me. I like Dome. I like Dome for many different game types. S&D, Domination, but I couldn't even... I mean, I'm sitting here... and this happens all the time. I have no idea. The maps run together for me. I need a cheat sheet.
I'll pass it right on through. Here you go.
I'm gonna go with Arcaden.
Oh, I like that one. I know that one.
I was trying to think of the names of the maps as well, and that was the only one I could remember. And I do remember I do like to play that map for a couple of reasons.
It was Arcaden. It's Arcaden.
However you want to pronounce it.
Like, how are you, Katie?
Arcaden.
Arcaden. However you want to pronounce it. But I found that no matter what game type I'm playing on it, it always plays well on it. Capture the flag, search and destroy, domination, demolition. It just plays well. The spots of the objectives are correctly placed in my mind, but that's just, I guess,
Do you think they picked that one for the Elite Championship? Do you think they picked that one for that reason because it's well made for the competitive type game? Yes,
I do. I mean, if you watch any of the streams of the pro players, they all enjoy playing that map. All of them do. There's just so many spots you can go. Like it's just
very balanced.
Together. It is very, very balanced, and that makes it a good map to play. All time though, without a doubt, is Shipment. Shipment will forever be probably one of the best Call of Duty maps ever created. I'm just gonna put that one out there.
It almost sounds
Ultimate
like you said
pretty good.
shipment.
Yeah,
like
I thought you
shipment.
meant
Shit, man.
Shit, man. God.
So, so you mentioned shipment. Let me ask you this: what would you think, or how cool would it be to see shipment come back as a non-DLC map to Modern Warfare 3?
It would be amazing, especially with the weapons that are now out for this game. I mean, the SMGs and
A Reaper on shipment? Guys.
Everybody be dead.
would be awesome. No, but I mean,
Bouncing Betties,
it's the same
trophy
thing Call of Duty.
system,
Okay, we're getting
spaz. I mean, no.
It would be well played. I mean, just even back in Call of Duty 4, you look at the weapons that were there, the shotguns that were on that map.
There's
right?
too much shit. You know what we need?
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys ever played Delta Force. There was a mod that was nothing. It was nothing. It was just a white screen. And you spawned in the middle, and you got to run your ass off. Try to get as far as you could, and then lay down and snipe. And there would just you'd spawn and knife and die and spawn and knife because it was
Do you
just
know
white.
what that
It
reminds
was
me of?
nothing.
That reminds me of
That's-
me and a couple buddies on COD 4. You know, it must have been months ago, like 8 months ago, 9 months ago now. We would go back after getting bored playing, you know, I think it was Black Ops at the time. We'd go play Modern Warfare, and there was a glitch in old school mode where you can hop the wall on backlot and go underneath the map.
Yeah.
And instead of being white, it was black, and you lay down with a sniper and defended your turf down there. It was excellent. That
Nice.
just reminded me of that. That was awesome. Good times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good deal. Well, this is rolling very well. Let's move into the next topic, shall we? The
Let's
next
Are we going to talk
one.
about Pokemon now? Because that's why I'm here.
Pokemon. Which, again, is one of the greatest games ever created. I don't care what anybody says.
Pokemon.
The original Pokemons were amazing.
Somebody needs to make a Pokemon mod on Call of Duty 4.
Yes.
Okay, that was bad. That would be awesome. Anyway, so next thing we're going to talk about is Call of Duty Elite. As you can see with the screen now, is a new topic. Some of the things we're going to talk about. Do you guys think it's up there competing with game battles? Do you think it's going to be up in that upper echelon of being a competitive type format, or is it more for the consumer?
I'll hit this first, I
Go for it.
suppose. I think it's more consumer based because you're not going to have all these tough. You're not going to have a bunch of tough things to accomplish in order to win things. It seems like I've never actually used Elite fully, but as far as I can understand the way they explain it, it's more consumer because of the fact that you do basic achievements that you would basically do to unlock stuff in a game anyways. It's not like going out and battling a bunch of teams and working your way to the top of a tier, you know, and playing the best team of the other tier. You're basically...
You obviously have never competed in the Elite stuff.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
not the Elite
You
stuff.
against the entire Call of Duty community.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
My
even though you
argument-
go against the community, though, you're going for, like, the most flag
Millions.
caps, though, or something like that. You're not
Yeah,
going...
me
Yeah.
versus millions of people, and I've
But
got to
that's
get my
more-
monster, and I got to make sure nobody's coming home, and I'm not interrupted. I got to put my depends on, and I am not moving until I get my 15,000 caps.
Yeah,
It is
exactly. But that's
crazy.
more consumer
It's
based.
crazy.
A lot of MLG pros don't sit around, or a lot of competitive players that don't
They're
sit
good
around.
at it. They're
kind of stuff.
naturally good at it. I watched
I mean,
TP.
they would
hit
be good.
the-
Yeah, they
hit-
would be good at it.
Uh,
Definitely, definitely, they would be good at it. They have good gun skills, and they
Yeah.
know the by the back of their hands, you know. But I think overall, though, it was meant for consumer. Just because we're talking about Modern Warfare 3, and you know, as we all know, Modern Warfare 3, getting into the subject probably a little bit soon, is more consumer based, while you know, public, you know, casual gamers, why you know, Black Ops is more towards competitive. So.
But do you find that there's clans out there, there's groups of game battlers that group up and go and get on these competitions out there on Elite and are pretty much dominating? I mean, and that comes to the reffing part of it too. Is that, you know, how is it being reffed? How's it really being looked over?
The Pathfinders are actually pretty hardcore. They review a lot. They review every report. Two guys in my Tango Down Gaming clan. What's up? They both they won Jeeps, you know, and a chicken PMS won a Jeep too. I'm in PMS too, but the guy Trademark who won the Jeep, the guy ahead of him had let his girlfriend play for like 15 minutes, and it was on a live stream, and he sent the video of the girlfriend playing to the Pathfinders, and they
Ooh.
knocked him out because somebody else played on his tag.
Wow. That's pretty
That
serious.
is intense.
Yeah,
That is
so
serious.
they're very specific. Oh, hush, Yoshi. They're very intense on that kind of stuff. The same thing with this whole band candy guy on the Modern Warfare 3 forums now. You see somebody glitching or boosting, you send a video, gone.
And that's quick too. They're making that happen fast.
And finally, it's about time.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
is about time.
Yep.
I'm sick of watching people glitch in games and think it's funny and think it's, cool because they can get tons of kills when really you're an idiot. It's like, please leave my lobby right now.
That
because
is-
I to absolutely strangle you.
That is-
That is
Yeah.
probably the best part about Modern Warfare 3 is that they're on top of the casual scene, which happens to be where they find all the glitches, and those are patched all the time. Like, every update that comes out, there's new patches being patched. And that's good. They patched all the infected. People were cheating hardcore and infected.
Well,
they patched up
that's-
everything they knew and infected. There's still a couple more, but I'm sure they're going to tackle those soon
That's-
as soon as I get ear of it.
That's why I stopped playing Infected. I got tired of it. I was getting so frustrated.
To wrap it around, that's what I think Elite's real purpose is. And I'm saying this is my personal opinion. I think Elite's purpose is across the board throughout the Call of Duties to consistently be able to adapt to the modders and the hackers and the boosters and the glitchers and to have a running record and the data flow. This data's always been there. Now it's available to us. And I think that's really cool. But I think that's what Elite is for, is to bridge the gap between the Call of Duties. My kids are going to be playing Call of Duty. My grandkids are going to be playing Call of Duty. This series isn't going anywhere. It's always going to be around. So that's what I think Elite's for. I don't think it's to compete against MLG or game battles or anything like that. I think it's a place to bring the community together and to try new things and get free data.
Yep.
Because we all know the GB and MLG scene, they don't support each other. They're always going at it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they're never together. They're always apart. Like, they never can just hear ear to ear and work together. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, definitely I can see more of that happening on Elite. A lot of those, people, a lot of those clans teaming up, working together, accomplishing their tasks, winning prizes, It's pretty good for the younger kids if you think about it. It's not as hardcore. But at
Younger
the same
kids,
time-
what are you talking about? My clan's 25 and over. We're totally going to
Oh, no, I'm saying for younger kids as well. I'm not saying just for younger kids.
I was going to say it's actually, you can't even compare the two because, as much as they're putting a competition together, it's two totally different ways of going about it. You look at the way Elite is going, they are putting competition on a whole different scale. Like, you think about it, when you log on your GB team or your MLG team, it's 4 of you or maybe 5, 3 people on game battles, and you're playing against one team of 3 to get 1 win and then restart, search again, 1 team at a time. Whereas when, like Claire said, you play the domination game, your team is playing against every single team at the exact same time on the same game types, just not in the same game. You are playing on a world scale all at the same time, and that is a whole new way of going about competitive ways of playing. So
speaking of that, do you think, going into the value and benefits of Call of Duty Elite, for me, the map packs alone or the map releases alone is a huge, huge value. But benefits and other types of value, what do you think of Elite? For the consumer. Obviously not for the competitive side, but what do you think it is? How do you think it is doing for the consumer?
Well, with what you get out of it, it's how much did you have to pay for it? I don't even know because I don't have it. I'm going to get it this weekend now that but
You are not allowed to talk about Elite anymore at all.
I've honestly done my research on it to know what you get out of it, right? And thank you, Raptor, for posting videos for people who don't know. And that I didn't know.
I believe it's $50 a year.
It is.
Unless
Yeah.
you bought the
$49.95.
Yeah.
And for $50 a year, and that's what you get out of it. Like, is it worth the money? It's worth $50. Like,
Yes.
that truly is.
Map
worth
packs alone, you're ahead by
Yeah.
$10.
Yeah.
Exactly. right? Like that is worth it to me to have. I mean, take.
Are you like building quarters, Legos?
No, I'm playing with.
Okay.
I just.
This whole time I'm like, man, he is.
I thought it was his dog tags.
There.
Yeah,
I
my
don't know
dog
what he's
tags.
messing with. He's got a in there. She's tied up. She's bound.
No, but that to me, that is the benefit of Call of Duty Elite. I mean, you take away the competitive side of stuff, and for the consumer, $50, and you get all of that. It is worth it. It really is.
You know, it's funny because people have accused me, oh, you're trying to sell it and trying to make something. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm actually saying that there is a great value in getting the maps first, getting them before everyone else, being able to play them, and saving some money by getting them first. I mean, going through that whole thing of getting them
And
first.
like I'm sitting in traffic on the way home from work. Oh, Call of Duty Elite mobile app. Boop boop. Custom classes. I know I got Dom tonight, so why the hell did I have this on there? Ba 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 ba. And boom, upload them, and then accept pending changes, and you're done.
Yep.
I mean, I love that shit, man. I love it.
Well, and that's definitely connecting like us, having it on our iPhones, having it on our Android devices, being able to connect with something that you never have been able to do before, ever. I mean, that's huge.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bob. There's Star Wars Bob. He's my buddy. Hey, Bob.
It did take a big step. Elite is a big step. They introduced a lot of new features to a lot of new gamers, so gotta give them credit for that.
Cool. Any questions out there from anyone on Elite? On Elite.
Elite
Do you
Premier.
guys like that it's called Elite? I don't really like the name.
Elite. What else would you call it though?
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to ask.
Call of Duty Awesomeness.
Call of Duty Awesomeness.
I don't know, Call of
Awesomeness.
Duty Ops, Call of Duty, I don't know. The Elite thing,
Well, you can't even go with the ops because then you're going into
I know.
Black Ops, and you're like, okay, like that's getting a little close, right?
I guess I'm tired of the whole Elite thing, I don't know.
Call of Duty Cat.
Meow. Meow, meow.
I don't know. Elite just seemed fitting. Yoshi says Call of Duty Modern, mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. That would get said wrong so many times.
And taken in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Please, you're talking to a couple guys like that right now around there. I don't know if that's wise.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Cool.
A couple, not all.
So I don't know. We're at a point kind of midway through the show. Do we want to take a break or do we want to keep going? It's a pretty good flow. What do you think?
This is a 2-hour show?
No.
That doesn't necessarily go.
I need
It's
a
just
shot of
that-
whiskey and maybe some Call of Duty Black Ops real quick and a cigarette because y'all are blowing my mind with this Call of Duty Modern mind blowing.
We can, but your buddy there, Star Wars Bob, has a good point.
Ooh.
He says only drawback to Elite would have been to be that we can only play in one playlist. I'd prefer more or less skilled players. Also, PS3 still kind of being shafted, even those on PS3 who did end up paying for Elite. I do agree with him on that.
Yeah, I've got some PS3 buddies, and
Is that just because they don't get the maps yet?
it's
They get
not
them a
just
month later.
that. There's also updates and stuff that are not.
You know what though?
perfect and
You
features.
that's where the majority of my playtime was before I got my Xbox. Was on the PlayStation, and I realized that Call of Duty just didn't like the PlayStation, even though it was on. No, like you think about it, like every map pack was always released on the Xbox. Then you look at Battlefield. Battlefield 3 came out, and it is a PC-based game. What anybody can argue, it is a PC-based game that is played on console. They made a huge statement in releasing all map packs and every update on the PlayStation first. They completely shafted their own...
Oh, there goes his mic. Good, I can cut in now.
He's all right. He's
That
all
has
right.
nothing to do with Call of Duty. That has to do with Xbox going to Activision and saying, hey, we want to throw some money at you, and we want exclusive
it's
rights.
PlayStation's fault. It is PlayStation's fault. But, I mean,
Yeah.
Spencer, what can people
Swim!
who play PlayStation
Swim, buddy, swim.
do? Yeah. What can they do? There's nothing you can do. Now you're looking at
Nothing.
a different developer who's making a statement back to the PlayStation because they realize that they're getting shafted. I mean, I play
Hey,
and I
don't
don't
take
really
it like
complain.
that. I don't think Xbox went to EA and went, let us give you some money for exclusivity. I don't think they had the option for that.
Okay, so how are they being, like, how are they getting the exclusiveness then? Shouldn't it all be released at the same time otherwise?
No, that's what I'm saying is Xbox approached Activision to have an exclusive partnership. I don't think Xbox did the same thing for EA.
Oh, no, okay, so that's what I'm
Yeah, if
saying.
EA had the opportunity to do that, they totally would have.
Yeah,
Hmm.
okay.
Millions people, millions.
Yeah, there's a lot more gamers on Xbox and PS3. No matter what anybody says, the stats every year always hire more gamers.
Console war, so
yeah.
ridiculous.
That needs to be a topic on another show because I got a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
I don't care.
We'll save that. We'll save that for next week.
Yeah,
We'll
okay.
put that
We'll-
next
we'll-
week.
Next week on Spawn.
Now I want to say something, but okay, we'll wait.
See, I'll be doing
Hold
commercials
it
and
off.
trailers and everything else.
Oh man.
That is a whole different big time discussion as the whole Battlefield EA thing. That's just nuts.
Yeah.
So, okay.
That's
John?
true, by the way, Star Wars, Bob. The PlayStation, as far as online gaming goes in general, just isn't the same. Like, it's just not on the same level in general as anything, really. Obviously, it beats the Wii, but besides that, I mean, every other system, it is below. It's below in every category. But that's, again,
Xbox
that
has
will be
been
discussed.
an innovator, though.
Yeah.
Xbox, the dashboard,
Yeah.
the apps, the
Just what you
social,
can
they
do.
embrace the whole social aspect of online gaming, and PlayStation just doesn't get it yet. I remember sitting there, God, what was the game? Resident Evil or something? And you'd just be sitting in a lobby, and people would come up and, like, not talk to you. It was weird.
So why do you think Sony is doing what they're doing and not really latching on to the gaming industry? I mean, they seem to have a strong foothold with their product, but it just, I mean, what do you think they're doing?
They're making the second best amount of money in the gaming industry.
Yeah, that's basically what
Yeah.
it is. Fact of the
Who
matter is, what's the major appeal to the PlayStation is free online play. That's what it is. You don't have to
And
play.
and you got the internet. You got a browser, correct?
Yeah.
I've been on it.
But
I've
that-
been on
I mean,
my
so-
PlayStation like 3 times. Like,
I've had my PlayStation for 7 years, and I've never used the browser. I just choose, like, it's just not worth it.
Well,
but
you've
it's
got
the
like
free
Silent
online-
Hill or God of War or something too, right? Uncharted. Uncharted.
God of War. Was that exclusive on PlayStation? I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Was it? That was a good series, but I mean, Uncharted was good too, but what is it compared to the stuff that you can get on both systems? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, see, I always assumed that was it, that there was, Sony was this really exclusive hoity-toity club, and it's like, yeah, but we've got these titles and you don't. you know?
But again, your friend is coming up with some very valid points. Sony has what Microsoft does not: a lot more hardware,
Oh, yeah.
televisions.
They own the TV markets.
yeah.
I mean, that's huge. So I'm sure they're like, Microsoft, you got it. You're good.
yeah. So yeah, we'll save those console wars for next week. I think we have a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
A lot of-
Time.
We
right
should
now.
have Star
Time.
Wars Bob on to talk about it since we don't have really a current PS3 thing.
Yeah.
And,
Good idea.
and Bob, I have to call Bob out. Star Wars Bob is best known for calling me out for playing the Black Ops First Strike beta. That's how I met him, because this idiot put my gamer tag all over the YouTube and was making the YouTube money by telling people I was playing First Strike beta.
Yeah.
Sad face.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a hot topic for next week.
That'll be fun. That'll definitely be fun.
Um,
You want to keep going? We can keep going.
I think we should go to next topic before we get too carried away.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. I mean, keep going, not take a break. If you want to take a break
No,
or keep
no.
going.
Whatever
It's
you
flowing
guys
really
want.
good. It's flowing really good. I'm
We'll just keep
good
going.
to keep going.
Keep
I'll just
going.
keep going.
All right, cool. Next topic has maybe some controversy, but I'm going to leave this to you guys, the professionals on the MLG. This one is definitely about the, let me find it here. Hang on. Dun, dun, dun. That one, Major League Gaming and the pro circuit. And some of the topics we're going to talk about is the tour itself and why COD, Call of Duty, is not on the tour. Its announcements on why it's not going to be part of the tour. some of the games, the other games that are big, that a lot of the Call of Duty people may not know about. That's really, really huge, like StarCraft and some of the others. But like I said, I'm going to leave it to you guys to kick this one off. So, Greg, Sean.
All right, well, I can kick it off for now. Are we talking just MLG in general and their tour and what it's all about, or are we going into the Call of Duty thing right away?
Let's talk about the tour first, and then we'll get into the more controversial part.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, man.
So I've only personally been to one event last year. Basically, it was maybe 2 months, 3 months or so after I started up Global Spawn. The website wasn't even up yet.
Which one did you go to?
I went to MLG Orlando. That
I
was
in
the one
Dallas.
closest to me. It was here. I live in Florida. I'm 2.5 hours away, so I took a
Slasher.
ride. Yeah, I know. I took a ride. You did a little bit of advertisement, enjoyed it, got my first MLG experience. I liked it. It was fun. I met a lot of people. We actually had a little nice after party. It was really fun as well. And the whole experience was just really great, just getting to meet people that you talk to all the time, but you don't know what they look like. You know, you imagine what these people look like sometimes because you're like, I play with this person all the time, and you just subconsciously build an image in your head of what this person looks like based on their voice. It's a weird concept, but getting to meet people was really fun. Getting to advertise was fun. Getting to watch people and meet professionals and watch them play, it was all good experience. I don't know too much about StarCraft. I know a little bit about Halo. I've talked to Flamesore when I was there, and I got a good half an hour conversation with him. He's a great guy. He had a lot to say. I got him to check out the website a little bit. He was, enthused about it. It has nothing to do with it, I know, but it was part of our discussion. So, the Call of Duty scene, though, as far as the event goes, I loved it. I watched it. Fear Moho, I met up with him. He actually lives 10 minutes from 10 down the street from me, so I got to meet up with him there. I met some of his Fear buddies, some of his Fear clanmates or teammates, and they were all basically professional, so that was pretty interesting getting to meet a bunch of professional players and watching them play, and just the whole Call of Duty scene in general and live with all the commentators there, all the, I guess you could say, event coverage and everything just being live in your face, all the people. It was a pretty gnarly experience, I have to say myself. So
to clarify, the Orlando, it was for Black Ops, right? It was Call of Duty Black Ops.
yes, it was Black Ops, yeah.
All right.
Because speaking of, if you're going to ask, Modern Warfare 3, I don't know if you were speaking of in terms of past games, but Modern Warfare 3 never made the circuit, so I don't know if you were trying to say this year or not, because I don't know if you know too much about MLG, but MLG didn't pick up Modern Warfare 3, and that's the topic we're going to discuss next.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, StarCraft, I was going to jump on StarCraft real quick, because then the funny thing is when I go out on Twitch TV sometimes and I want to see what's getting viewed the most, and for God's sake, I cannot believe how much StarCraft's getting watched.
Yeah.
StarCraft and League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
I don't
holy
get it.
cow. I don't either.
I don't get it either.
I get StarCraft. League of Legends, I have no idea what's going on at all. Every time I watch it, I'm watching people run around the map, and then I'm watching damage points come up on a whole bunch of
And then they run back, and then they run
run
forward again,
They
and
hide the
it's
bush, and then they got a million characters they can choose from. Like, I just don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, StarCraft.
I don't understand anything PC games. I've never played PC. The only PC game I ever played was when I was like 10. I played Doom, and with the old analog joysticks, that was fun. That's all I played, though.
I mean, here's the top games, if you can see it. But StarCraft, Halo, Warcraft, Skyrim, and League of Legends. Those are the top games in the viewing, you can view from the different levels. I mean, I'm just floored how many people are watching those games. But anyway, don't want to delve too much onto that. But.
Well, but here's a good point. Okay, shooters have lost their viewers. People don't want to watch shooters anymore. The days of like Counter-Strike are gone. I don't know what we lost. I don't know what about shooters now make them boring to watch.
You think it's skill?
I'm not sure.
I think I'm thinking it really has a lot to do with the 1 versus 1 factor. You think about StarCraft, and when it comes to the pro circuit or the MLG circuit, what is more exciting than watching a 1 versus 1? The intensity, and they don't have any help from anybody else. It's them trying to out-strategize the person who is across the stage from them. That is what a lot of people like to watch. It gets the excitement going. And I mean, you get to watch the reactions of the players because they know that they just beat that guy on a best of 5, basically, is how they play it. And that is what a lot of people are going towards, I guess. When you look at Call of Duty, I mean, you get the 1 versus 1 factor or the 1 versus 2, 3, or 4 in search, right? I mean, you look at the other game types that are played, it's always has more. You're always on respawn, right? Like, that is not necessarily quite as exciting.
That's exactly it.
That's. I mean, sure, you're watching the person respawn and then they go right back to it again.
It's the respawn, because Gears 1, amazing to watch.
And that's the reason. It's because execution, right?
Right.
You die, that's it. You're done.
You got one life. You got to be careful with it. You got to be tactical. You got to have strategy. You've got to communicate. With respawn, it's how many bodies can you throw at the door before you break it down?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's why Call of Duty Search and Destroy only 1 spawn. I think that's why that was probably the funnest to watch, because it was intense. Because if that person died, you knew that person was out. That could have been a key player on their team, and you're wondering, what are they going to do now? Are they going to pull it out still? You know, it makes it really intense only having 1 life, rather than you play, like you said, a respawn type domination or a capture the flag, whatever it may be in the circuit at the time. You respawn, go back at it, and having so many lives, you can have a player that's just really good that can hold the team up. If the other members aren't doing so well, you can have a really good member on your team that can continuously drop 3 and 4 pieces, being in the right spots, the right times, you know, doing his head glitches, and that's what they do a lot in those kind of games. So the respawns aren't too fun to watch. It depends, I guess, if you're new to it or not. If you've been watching for years and years, you know, through Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, all those other shooters, you're probably bored with it by now, especially since they kind of jacked up the games, you know, that are new, not including Black Ops so much, but, you know, including Modern Warfare 3, how there's no land, so that you can't really experience what it's going to be like. But, yes, Search and Destroy, Call of Duty, just like Gears of War, like you were speaking, 1 life, very intense, very fun to watch.
So let me ask you this then. If a lot of the streamers, I mean, there's tons of games. Everybody can stream as easy as anybody can. That's why when Claire Jeep Chick and I and a number of others, we did fun things. You know, do you think a viewer base would grow if you came up with a way, and Black Ops is really the only way I can see to do it right now, is to set up a 1 versus 1, and it's 1 spawn only, and it becomes competitive. How intense would that become?
It really does become competitive because it's not a respawn, it's 1 life. But Call of Duty is such a fast-paced game that each round or each game would end in like seconds, if not a minute, because people love to rush.
Yeah, you spend the whole game kind of zoned out, waiting to see that one clutch, and then you zone out again. I think the entire live stream market is oversaturated. I think that it's getting ready to bust and fall out. I think we're going to have it just, I mean, you could go on and watch all kinds of people stream. 2 years ago, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And it's boring now. Everybody streams. Everybody. I feel weird because I don't.
You know what it is? I think you would do well as far as streaming goes. It comes down, it's the same thing with YouTube. You do well, you get views, you get followers, you get subscribers when you do something different. When you're doing something that nobody else is doing. And going in regards to the 1 life, you know, 1 versus 1, that's why One in the Chamber was such a
Oh,
big deal.
yes.
Why did everybody have so much fun? Because you had lives. You had to get kills and not die. You lost all your lives, you are out of the game,
Yeah.
and hope that your kill count can beat the next person. And I mean, that the way they had that game set up with it prevented the camping as well. You couldn't just, I mean, you could hide in a corner, but if somebody's running around the map getting kills and not dying, you're not going to catch up.
Yep.
That's, even if you do keep your lives, it's not who's got last life. It's who's got most kills in the 3 lives that they have. And that was exciting. That made it a big deal for people. It was something different. And the same goes for the streaming. If you can do something different, I'm not sure if anybody know who's Red Spades is. Anybody? No? Live streamer. Back in Modern Warfare 2, he ran open lobbies of like public games. I guess Michael Myers, border control, anything like that where people were involved and it wasn't like a normal game. I mean,
Well,
he
you
did
hit right
something
on it, Greg.
different.
You hit right on it. I mean, I plug him all the time because he's actually fun to watch as Swifter. I mean, the stuff he does, when he does Mike Myers or Swifter Says, I sit there and I just watch. I'm like, what are these idiots going to do next? And he sits there and laughs because it's entertaining. And you hit right on it, is that it is exactly that. I came into the YouTube market late, so I have to find a niche, something that's new, and it's very, very tough. And you wonder why you don't get views because everybody else is already getting the views, right? It's being unique, and it's about entertainment. It's about views. It's not necessarily about who's skilled. It's about what you're doing to be unique and to entertain your viewership.
I mean, it's kind of like almost like YouTube. Everybody does videos these days, trying to get a partnership, trying to get big, get known. A lot of people become celebrities off YouTube. Everybody's trying to do it these days, just like they're trying to live stream and become real popular. And it's just really saturating, like Claire said, the whole video market in general, as far as it goes to gamers at least. And it's just, I don't think it's, something that we should all be doing exactly. Only the people who have the talent for it, I guess, to make it at least fun to watch for those couple people that are real good at it.
Yep. So go ahead.
I was going to say, what kills me are the people that think, I'm going to become a YouTube star, and this is going to be my career, and I'm going to make money doing this, and I'm going to do this the rest of my life. It's a spot on your resume to help you get into a marketing or PR or sales position later on, maybe a commentating job with like a real news network. This YouTube's not going to be your career unless you work for a place like Machinima, like Fwiz and all them do. There's a behind the camera, so to speak. I really feel bad for some of these teenagers that are like, no, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. I can do this. I can make money. And they can't.
Is my stepson in the room? Because I swear I just had that conversation.
I had it with my 11-year-old.
It's actually kind of amazing, though. I did some research recently. Just one day at work, I was like, I was thinking of Epic Mealtime. I was a fan at that at one point, and I liked watching them make all their masterpieces. And I was thinking, how much do they make exactly? So I went to Google and I typed in, top paid YouTubers, and I came up with a list of top 10. I don't know who published it, but it actually, one of the highest persons that was listed there was for around $300 and something thousand a year.
Yeah.
And the number one person, I don't remember who it was unlisted, unannounced, because it must have been just so ridiculously high. It was incredible to know that these people making these videos.
So funny.
Think about FPS Russia. I'm sure everybody knows who he is, right?
Yeah.
How much money does he make? Right? He can afford to buy all the guns, ammunition that he does, travel around.
Yes, Russia is independently wealthy, and he also has
No, that's true. But
His
the
YouTube
money that he makes, he does put into it.
It's not a lot.
But he does put all the money. I mean, you look at, somebody did I saw a post. I'm not sure how accurate it was, but on the money that can be made on Twitch based on the average amount of viewers per commercial that is viewed that you post. And you can make a lot of money, but you, one, have to take the time to stream all the time, which We do not, because we work, we play, we're outside, we play sports, you have kids, right? You have a family. But if you can do it all the time and can hold a good amount of viewers on a regular basis, then you can make a good amount of money. But that is, I mean...
But again, if you're streaming all the time, and it's not a unique event and something interesting, it's not like, hey, it's Tuesday, I'm going to go watch so-and-so's stream. Who's going to come by your stream if you're streaming all the time? It's supply and demand. And if you can go out there and look at anybody's stream, I want to watch Skyrim. There's 40,000 streams right now. Who cares who I watch?
Well,
I'm going to watch the guy that's funny or the guy that's screaming or rage quitting. I'm going to watch the guy that has something unique that makes it entertaining, which is exactly what Raptor was talking about. You need a gimmick almost. Yeah. You need a catch.
Well, here's the thing, and Claire, you hit right on it. Where I was going with this, and to move into this, and we kind of tailed off of the MLG piece.
Sorry.
But no, this is a good thing, though. It's just, I mean, you're now in the entertainment industry, and these kids don't understand. I worked in the entertainment industry. It is dog eat dog, and that's exactly what this is. If you don't have something that's going to entertain your fans, they're going to go elsewhere. I don't want to sit and know that I can turn on the TV and see 7 different versions of some Discovery show that's exactly the same thing. Why?
Shark Week every week, all year.
It's like, okay, it's done. It's like the McRib. They don't bring the McRib's not available all the time. The McRib is available a short time of frame. Why? Because they figured it out.
That's a marketing tool. Yeah, it's a marketing tool.
Sandwiches are bad.
They release it. They release it in a limited, it's a limited availability, so people jump on it if they like it. It's something they're gonna eat every day until it's gone, and then they bring it back like 2 months later, saying a limited, McRib again, limited time only.
It's crying wolf. If you keep it where they stay in Davy's locker, and you got to come to shore every 10 years, I mean that's where it sits, right? And so this is where these people that get into this niche.
I'm going to take down Global Spawn
Here's
tonight.
One of mine. I do this twice a year. I will play a whole game like that.
I got to take Global Spawn down for a month and say it's back for a limited time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Like at Myrtle Beach, like at the beach where it says, we're going out for business. And then they close the store and then they reopen it and everybody comes.
That's like Zohan. Zohan the movie.
The store is called like Going Out of Business.
Going Out of Business. Why do you call it Going Out of Business? Oh, it's good for business.
It's good for business.
All right, let's get back to MLG and the tour and why COD didn't make it into the tour.
I think that's a very short answer. COD does not have LAN.
That is the only answer. That is the answer.
Infinity Ward didn't cater to the competitive scene.
I wouldn't say it like that.
I mean, there isn't really too much competitive in the game. Like, they were asked to do this multiple times for months and months, but yet they put Drop Zone in, Infected in. They modded Drop Zone and Infected over and over, but they couldn't take the time to put a LAN in.
Yeah.
Consumer versus competitive.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's all casual. It's not competitive whatsoever.
Are you going to listen to 40 people? Or are you going to listen to 4 million people?
That's really what it is, and it's a smart strategy on their point business-wise. But then again, you never know. MLG could have brought them so much money if they worked out some kind of contract for the games and for the events. MLG draws in lots of people. Like, you can go to an event and you'll have like 11,000 people there. Maybe more.
Just
and then on the live stream, you'll have millions of people watching, and it's just the
I don't
fact
know about
that
they
millions.
had a viewer count. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, but it's not. It's like
it wasn't
over a weekend though.
Yeah, it was a combined,
cumulative. Okay.
See, back in the day when I was a competitor, there was MLG was a low man on the totem pole. We had CPL, we had Cal League, WSVG. There was also a lot of local LAN tournaments and LAN centers, and they're all gone. The only one left is MLG because their business model worked. And what I'm hoping for the next 5 years is I want to see more companies spawn that do what MLG does.
I almost think that
Give us some choices.
I almost think that MLG is trying to push consoles out for some reason. They seem like they're picking up a lot of PC games.
Consoles are a pain in the ass.
PCs are really popular. There's a lot of viewers, a lot of gamers that play PC, so it's a good strat on MLG's part.
PCs
But
don't
then,
need a fan.
yeah, but then again, like you have Call of Duty and Halo. I mean, I think Call of Duty actually draws in more of a crowd these days than Halo does. But why would they not? I mean, this year obviously they couldn't do it, but they were even really itchy at putting Halo back on
Okay,
there.
here's a better question. Why didn't they just keep Black Ops?
That's what a lot of people are saying.
And
But you know what?
I agree with that.
I agree too. That was a good game for competitiveness, but I think a lot of the pro gamers were really kind of saying we don't want to play the same game for a whole season again. We already kind of dominated that game. You know, why do it over? I mean, they're kind of picky, I suppose. But I hear a lot of people on Twitter now talking about doing that since MLG didn't pick Call of Duty up. They're going to start their own tournament land system type deal, and they're going to use. And a lot of people want to do Modern Warfare. They want to go back to like the game that everybody just loved the most.
Yeah.
So it's smart, though. I mean, if the community comes together and does that, that will really create a nice bond, and maybe people will finally stop arguing and stop, being individual and just kind of come together as a group and just do their own thing.
Did you just Obama us?
Yes.
Yes. I was gonna say it's actually the same, and we were having this discussion earlier, but it's the same for other games as well. Gears of War is another one that MLG did not pick up, and now you've got other companies that are creating tournaments and creating lands exactly to make up for it and start something new. And I think that's what Call of Duty is going to have to do. Going along with why MLG didn't pick it up and the argument, I actually read TP today. Was it today? Posted that I'm so glad I can prestige 5 more times, but you still didn't put in any land settings. And he's got a point. Why put in 5 more prestiges when you could have put in land settings? And that goes back to the consumer spot, right? How many more people are going to want to prestige versus want to have private land settings? You know what I mean? Like that. That is the argument there.
Somebody on Twitter today, I wish I knew who did it. Somebody retweeted it. Wasn't somebody I know. They said, what if land settings, you had to purchase them as DLC?
That would actually be well worth it.
Wouldn't I wish I could remember who said that, because I thought it was brilliant.
That's a very
A lot of people would actually purchase it just so they could do that. MLG would have to purchase, over hundreds of DLCs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then that would pay for the patch and the certification and everything else, and then it would turn the land settings into a consumer product. When you have MLG and these other companies that go out and play the games and do local lands, Call of Duty doesn't get any money from that. And you can say that it's bringing more people to the game. That's bullshit. The cool commercials that they spend all the money on and rendering the Super Bowl, that's bringing more people to the game.
Oh, those commercials that Elite does right now, those are hilarious. The guy with the hangover, I don't know what his name was.
That's Rob Riggle. That's where the money is. That's where the money is going. That's why you see things like Friday Night Fights. That is a huge, huge production.
We should go do Friday Night Fights!
We own. Who do we fight?
I don't know. Maybe another podcast.
Ooh.
Oh,
I gotta call. We need to do this. This is gonna be awesome. I think I broke my claps, by the way.
Don't hurt yourself. But the point is, it's entertaining to watch. Even though you watch these, the firemen versus the police or whoever, you're watching this and it's like, this is fun to watch. It was short, sweet to the point. You're like, cool, it's competitive.
You got a hot chick and a cute guy. Great commentators with Mike and Ryan, with Fwiz and Hastro.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do as part of DLC and how they keep evolving this game. One of the things that I found very interesting with Black Ops, because you either hate it or you love it, but Black Ops seemed to be, when I played in a competitive list, specifically I was specifically the competitive list under was it the bare bones playlist? I think it was.
Yeah.
You go bare bones and competitive. I would get killed, annihilated, because that's where the most of the time I'd find the really, really good gamers playing.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me realize once I got back into Modern Warfare 3, and I was like, okay, I'm back into the, getting used to the whole, open lobbies or public lobbies and
Pub stars.
yeah, pub stars. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And every now and then, you'd have one guy in a public lobby just killing.
Yeah,
Like-
it's weird. Like, you think because you were a competitive gamer going into a public lobby for your first time in months after doing scrimmages and GBs with variant settings, that you would really just sorry, I lost train of thought. Greg started his video again.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
that's
Some
wrong.
sort of like.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
So
Continue.
going back to it, you really think that you would just be able to pick up public settings very well and just play good like you would do in a competitive scene, in a competitive lobby. But me being a competitive gamer at one point, I stopped doing that and went back to being a public casual player. I live stream with Raptor Claw a lot and some of the Global Spawn guys, and I suck in pubs. Like, when I first came to pubs after competitive, it's a completely different atmosphere. The way people camp, the way they corner sit, or they lay on a hill with a sniper. You don't see this in competitive, so you know kind of where to run, where to sprint to, where to run and gun. But in pubs, it's like unpredictable, and you're
Lack of
constantly being
tactics.
blown up by
It's-
C4 and
It's
claymore.
funny. It's funny when you think about it, because when you think about a professional sport, right? If you're playing, for example, we'll say professional
Lacrosse.
baseball or lacrosse. Okay, we'll go with lacrosse. When you're playing against a professional team, you're already at the standard and that high up, right? You know how the other team's gonna play. You know how good they are. You go to play just a recreational team. The team that's playing recreational is not going to do what you're used to and what you're used to seeing, and they're going to counteract what you're used to doing, and they're likely going to win because of it. That's usually how it works, and that goes. I mean, especially when it comes to competitive gaming, you're going to lose because the other person. Not all the time, but you can lose because the other person is not doing what you're expected of
Right.
them to do, and that is
There's a
just
learning curve there,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
in a competitive gaming, the options for the options for the actions that they may be taking are much more narrow. Like Raptor, when we did the riot shield stuff, how long did it take for those guys to finally start picking up
Yeah.
our riot shields and going, okay, we get it, you're all using riot shields
Exactly.
and kicking our asses on dome.
Because we use tactics.
Yeah.
We
And
stay
they
in a
weren't
specific
expecting it.
area.
It's something that
Yeah.
they're not used to, and you guys kicked their ass
Yeah.
because of it.
We owned them. I mean, and I was giggling like a girl because I was like, I cannot believe this is working. I really cannot believe this was working, and it was working well. And it's funny, Glory, you hit on a topic that I find very interesting, and that is, do you care about your kill-death ratio when you're using tactics, when you're working as a team? Or do you care about your wins? It comes between wins and kill-death ratio.
And that's
publics
where I
versus
think
competitive.
a lot of people go wrong in Call of Duty, and everybody thinks it's all about the kill-to-death ratio. Everything's about the stats, when in reality, you should be wanting to win. Play the objective in your game types. Win the game first, kill the death second. Everybody wants to do well, but when you're playing domination, the objective of the game is to capture the
Win.
get to 200 before the other team does. If you care about your kill to death, play team deathmatch. Play
Please.
for all. Go do something
Do it
else.
for the
and-
children.
Exactly. Don't hurt the rest of your team to pad your stats. To sit there in a corner with an Osprey gunner or the rest of your kill streaks and try to mass kill the other team and not get any points because you're hurting the rest of your team.
So let me ask you this. If you find yourself getting into a Modern Warfare 2 lobby or a Modern Warfare 3 lobby, and you find yourself either A, up against a full clan, or B, you come into a lobby where everybody's using kill streaks, do you find yourself changing your tactics to go find and annihilate them to
Yes.
to send a message?
perfect example is boosters.
Yes.
Perfect example.
You gotta go
When
look for
you
them.
hear somebody pop that pack insert, what is my first reaction, and everybody else's, I'm assuming, is, oh, I'm going to kill this kid. I don't care if I lose this game. I am hunting them down.
Oh, you even call it out. You're like, guys, I'm sorry, I'm going rogue. I've got to go get this fucker. You're
This
just
guy is
pissed.
going down.
Yeah.
I am making it. And then you follow them after that because you know they're going to do the same thing in another game. And you follow them until they either, one, dashboard it, or two, just shut the whole system off because they're pissed off that you're killing them all the time. And that's, I mean, when another team is doing that, I make an effort to make their life a living hell. I will literally pull out
What are you pulling out?
Perk in Modern Warfare 2.
What are you pulling out? I'm glad we don't have video right now.
No, the what was it called? Danger Close. You
Oh,
pull it.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
Because you know it's gonna piss the other team off, and that is exactly what my mindset is when I enter a game. I'm there to win the game.
Dude,
I don't care how I do it. I'm winning the game.
I love going into pubs and just completely just annoying the shit out of people because I don't care about my KD, my wins, losses. Sometimes we'll go on win streaks with a party of 6 of us, but when we're just in there, me and Raptor Claw have been in there with a couple of global spawners, and we've just all had riot shields, C4, we've all had rockets, we've all done the stupidest things just to annoy the other people. Actually, I don't know if Raptor Claw was part of it or not, but one night I believe Greg was live streaming it. A party of 6 of us went into pubs, and we played TDM, and what we did is we got up by like 2 or 3 kills, or 1 kill, and we continuously spawned and rocketed ourselves the whole entire game so they couldn't kill us. It annoyed them. At the very end when they lost, they
won
left.
the game
They left.
because of it. And
It was-
one of the guys on our team finished with
so funny.
0 kills and 169 deaths.
Nice.
Because he literally rocked himself all game long. And the other people were rage quitting because they weren't going to win. They were not going to beat us. And
Every
it was
time-
hilarious.
You know, it was on, what map was on? Village? It was on Village, and sometimes they would actually be running around looking for us, and they'd catch us in our spawn, because some of us didn't have sleight of hand, so it took us a minute to get the rocket out, fire it at the floor, so they'd get a couple kills and get ahead. We would say, okay, everybody stop. We'd all pull out our snipers, hide, we would do whatever. We'd get a couple kills, go right back to it again. They could never get ahead of us. It was hilarious. They were getting so mad.
That's funny.
Yeah, I love doing that kind of
Well,
stuff.
that's kind
the
of
only
like
reason
that's
I
kind of
play
like Claire
pubs.
when I showed you the hidden tactics, or we were doing it
Yeah.
in plain sight. It's just silly, fun stuff. I mean, we keep
That
going back
was
to the
fun.
fun
It
stuff.
just keeps the
That was
game
fun.
exciting.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't get bored, you know? Like it's
I think
fun.
pubs, and just making it your own when you go in there with your team or your clan or your members of 6, your party of 6. That really just keeps it flowing for me. It keeps it interesting. If I keep going in and just playing pubs just normally, or I keep going and playing scrimmages normally, I get bored after an hour and I'm already off on GTA, Grand Theft Auto, just shooting hookers and robbing pimps. I mean, that's how it is. Like, or maybe I'll go on Halo sometimes and I'll forge, a couple of guys and make some new maps. But that even gets boring sometimes if it's not interesting.
You play that on PS3?
No. Oh.
So real quick before we delve off of it, about booster hunting. I mean, how many of you? I mean, you obviously all know about Sandy Ravage.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've heard. Yeah.
Is in what he used to do in booster hunting for, what was it, Modern Warfare 2? I mean, he
Yeah.
still does it and still plays it, and it's funny to watch. But I mean, that kind of goes into the enforcement part, and a really interesting and, I don't know, controversial topic of enforcement. What brought enforcement to gaming? I mean, it floors me that people still go and boost. They still go and do these dumb things, knowing that they're going to get reported and they're going to get banned. I mean, they made it very clear this year, and they've been doing it. We're going to give you a ban.
Oh yeah, I want that badge that says I'm banned, just like the guys used to do shit on Xbox Live so they could have the content, code of conduct
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
profile. For some people, 12 to 15-year-old males, that's like a badge of honor,
Yeah.
you know? Hey guys, look
No.
at this. I totally glitched and I got bananated for like 9,000 days. Oh my god.
So it's the badass status. is what it
Yeah.
is.
I'm a super geek, guys. I'm a
It's the same.
hacker.
It's
I
the
got
same
a
effect.
J-tag.
And
Yeah.
we'll be the first to know it's the same effect when it comes to game battles. Why do teams dispute when they know they lost and they know there's pictures and video proof? Why are you disputing? Why are you saying that
Why
you
not?
won and the other team lost when you know for a fact? Because they think it's cool. They think it's funny.
They
and
think it's
it happens.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious, all right. But they get banned because of it. Their team gets penalized for it, and that's what happens. But they still do it. They still do it.
Exactly. Completely agree with that.
So do you think there's a future for the MLG and COD? Is it going to be based on what Treyarch brings out, or is it based on what's going to be coming next? I mean, they're going to shut it down one year and open it up the next, shut it down. I mean, there's got to be a line.
It's that's to be seen, really. I can't see. It all comes down to how well MLG does this year with StarCraft and the games that they're going to have on it. Whether they pick up Gears of War. They just said it wasn't for the winter season, quote unquote, because that's what we're in. But they didn't say it wasn't going to be picked up at all, just not this season. It really comes down to how well StarCraft does without other games being.
It'll take over.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
it will.
if it does, then what room are they going to have for Call of Duty?
Yes.
And
Yes.
when it comes down to it, I know I saw a comment in the chat, but is Call of Duty pulled more views than Halo did. But the fact of the matter is, Halo was the base part
Of
of
MLG.
where MLG and how they got to where they are.
Yep.
And the fact that they were even considering not putting Halo in there would have been ridiculous. I actually would have been in shock if they didn't put Halo in.
Well, they were actually, as far as I heard, they were borderline putting it in, and as far as I know also, is they only put Halo in just for the winter season. It's not announced yet whether it's going on the other seasons or not, so no one even knows if it's going to continue.
It all comes down to how well it does.
I think it's based on this season alone, and as far as I've read on Twitter, the Halo teams have begun to sign up, but they only filled a fourth of the bracket like a couple days ago, which is barely anything to what they've been doing. And a lot of the teams that are signed up only have like one or two people on their roster. They aren't even full teams. So it's really, really slacking right now. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I think the Call of Duty, honestly, would have stacked up quickly. That's just my opinion.
To me, I mean, if you guys remember, my only MLG event I've ever been to was Toronto in 2008. And if you guys think about it, that was the only time it was in Canada and the only time it ever will be, because they made an attempt to see how it would do, and it did not do well. It didn't do as well as they thought it would, and it will never come back because of it. It's the same thing with these games. It all comes down to how well they do, and if they don't do well, they will not be back. That's bottom line. And StarCraft did so well last year and drew so many fans that is why it's taking over.
And League of Legends. League
League
of
of
Legends
Legends.
is huge.
I
It's
still-
ridiculous. Teeny
still-
tiny little area stacked like 6 to 8 deep.
I don't want to steal Raptor's thunder here as host, but do we have any questions regarding MLG? We're going to wrap it up soon. It's getting close to 10 p.m. So
No, do we have any questions about what's behind you there, Chris
Yes.
Christopherson? What's going down with the cornucopia of literature
Is that a
behind you?
lawyer's office? Or?
hey,
Yes.
this is just a nice get up. Actually, there's a nice bed behind that bookshelf. It slides out like James Bond. It's
Really?
ridiculous.
Dude, you got to go open
Okay,
it up.
go do it. Go do it.
Do it.
Really?
Do it.
Yes, do it.
Hold on.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do
This
it.
is a
Do
good
it.
ending. This is a good ending.
Yes, this is a very good ending.
This is
And while
awesome.
he's doing that, if there's any questions in the live stream chat, please let us know.
my.
Look at this. Look at this. Uh-oh.
That is ridiculous. That is so ridiculous.
We have a place now. Sweet.
That's so weird.
That's
I don't
cool.
want to sleep in a bookcase. Somebody would like shove it up in the middle of the night.
You wake up and you're in some
Where
other
go?
country.
I don't know.
That's good.
Exactly. So, yeah, questions, anyone? If anyone has any questions,
We already answered them all. It was amazing. We were so
oh,
fat.
okay,
That's
cool.
what she said.
Well,
But
there you
yeah,
go.
get ready to wrap it up.
Yep, this
you
was
know.
good, guys. This was very, very good. This was obviously our pilot show. We appreciate you all coming out and watching and listening to us and having some fun. Obviously, since this was a big success, thank you, Claire Jeep Chick, for coming. Thank you, Glory's Got Game. Thank you very much, Global Sean. Myself,
Sean.
Global Sean. See how I did that? See what I did there?
But
Definitely be hitting us up on Xbox Live. We'll be definitely out there playing with you all. So be looking for us next week. We're going to do it same time, same place, and we'll have some more topics to talk about. So there you go. Appreciate it. You guys all have a good night. Talk to y'all later.
Bleed for peace.
Later.